Hey everyone, in this video we're gonna be learning the following typical themes for the King's Indian attack. How to take control over the game by winning the key light squared bishop, how to punish the bishop c5 lines, and at the end of the video I'll be showing you the key idea that you can use against the 4 pawns attack and getting the white pieces. So gonna be trying out the King's Indian attack and we're facing off against an 1100, so already starting to get our rating up a little bit, getting into this high rated games. And okay, on bishop d6 just gonna be going with knight e2 and e4. Against that, could play knight g5. I don't think we really need it. It's definitely an idea to keep in mind sometimes, but I think you can just stick with the sort of main e4. And now after the d4, we get like a really nice and typical structure. We can play it like in two ways here. Like one of them would be knight h4 to f5, but I think the fun one would be to do it this way. But like on knight e1, I'm slightly afraid of queen d7 bishop h3. So I think I'll start this way so we can meet queen d7 with king h2. And h3 is like useful move anyways, because we want to be playing knight e1 f4 without allowing knight g4 knight e3. So just gonna be defending my pawn because this was a big threat, and plan is to just move the knight away and push the f pawn in typical King's Indian fashion. Okay, now I'm not like really happy about f4 because this is against my king, but I'm thinking, can we do knight c4? And then is this like really a problem like knight e4? That's what I'm like asking myself right now. This is actually like pretty solid, to be honest, because there's like no way to save the bishop, and with a bishop pair, this is like such an important piece in this structure. It's like really hard to explain, but it's really like sort of keeping it together for black. Now we just get like very easy game. Knight can land to c4 and perhaps f4, f5 now is just even working. h5, I think we'll just meet it with g4 when it gets played. We could also try to block like this, or maybe bg5, but don't think we really need to. Probably just stick with the sidestep and it should be good enough. Can do f4. This is very interesting. Could also block. Kind of blocking is reasonable as well. But just he gives a check. I'm not sure I want to allow it. Kicking with f3, but not my style. So what I'm thinking is just f4, pawn takes, and then actually f4 he probably does go h4. But then maybe just f5. So initially I was calculating this. He takes, knight takes. Something takes, not sure what, probably queen takes. Bishop takes on f4 and I think we're better, but not sure how much better. Yeah, I think that's like most principled approach, gonna go for it. In case he takes, I think we just get a pretty large advantage after simple pawn takes, and he like no longer gets that typical counterplay. Have ideas to fork. Typically taking with a pawn is fine. Doing this trick with knight takes and bishop f4 also doable, but you don't need it when this is working. These two pawns are like generally pretty huge. And okay, this is interesting, but I don't think mating with the when we have like the fianchettoed bishop. So after pawn takes, could just go back, could go king g3 even. I don't see how he's willing to take advantage of my king, but this is generally just safer, and you know, even when he does g3, he can just run away. Also thinking queen f3, isn't that just winning the pawn though? Like if we can win the pawn, that's like pretty much game over, but I think we do this. And okay, yeah, this is fine. I was thinking, does he ever has this, but just bishop takes? And yeah, like queen g6 I think can go e5, and who's attacking who? That is gonna be pretty fun. So big flat, okay, rook h2. Can take that and win. This is though still pretty funny alternative. Hard to decide, like knight takes d6 is, or like I mean e5 is so juicy, but also could play queen g3, forcing rook h8, and could take and completely winning with two rooks and piece. Do you guys want to like see how you win with two rooks and piece against the queen? Is that like content? Is that what you guys call content? Not sure I like your content. But I'm gonna just stick with the simple queen g3. Creating big flat. Yeah, okay, if you guys want content, then you get content. If you really want it, you get it. Fine. This is a threat in some positions, but not relying on that. Oh, never mind. There goes the content. You guys wanted the content. There you go. Okay, the thing is, I don't care whether my opponent is 1100 or 3000. I mean, I see chess the same way, and I think that's how you should. I should get a queen. Also, the knight. Up a lot of material.
One hour later.
And we get to like 1000. Okay, can go for the next one. And getting the white pieces. Gonna be trying out the King's Indian attack. And yeah, depending on what my opponent does, we'll have to adapt. And could be grabbing the pawn, running away with it. But not really the goal of the series. So hope we can get into some like standard, typical positions. And we can use some thematic ideas to outplay the opponent. And hopefully we can learn something from it. And just gonna be going for the short castle next, and depending on what they do, yeah, we'll see. I'm guessing they'll have to play with d5. That would be the most normal move, but I guess it depends. Yeah, we can just castle. Probably going knight takes on e5 and d4 is again something really strong. Could do like the typical thing, but I think just gonna be playing knight e5 and then d4. Yeah, after knight takes on e5, I'm gonna be playing d4 and just attacking these two pieces, regaining the sacrificed piece, and just keeping a slightly better position. Thanks to the flanker guy. Okay, now we can take like, whenever we play like this, they're supposed to do bishop d6 and take, but they decide not to, and we managed to actually keep the extra pawn. Even nicer. And on queen e7, yeah, this is definitely most precise, hitting c7. I was thinking about like not to get my bishop trapped anyways, but I don't see how, so then this must be good. And taking pawn, huge threat, play bishop d6, win the exchange. I think opponent is in like huge trouble right now. And once this, go to bishop d6, queen e2 takes rook e1, rook e8. Maybe he's okay in that line. Maybe just play knight c3, defend, and keep the same bishop d6 threat. Also sort of finishing development. So rook e8, we could do this move, I thought. I don't think this like really works in this version. Probably just play queen e2 and we're winning a piece somehow. And on queen e6, I was thinking maybe just like rook e1, e4 should be okay. Just unpinning so we can push the pawn, and like dc, take with a bishop. Also dc, sort of ignore and play e4 anyways with e5. Maybe we'll do that. Just play for activity. Okay, 95. I'm just gonna be taking, and we get a free piece, and the opponent also finds the resign button. And we're getting the white pieces once again. Gonna be trying out the King's Indian attack, and let's see what my opponent has in mind. So against d5, just gonna be playing g3, followed by bishop g2, and it's pretty interesting because he goes for c5 and knight c6 directly. So if I want to really go into deep theory, we could play d4 and try to argue that we're getting a Grunfeld where we have an extra pawn because we're like basically with colors reversed, and that is perhaps doable. But I think the goal of this series is just to try to get the King's Indian with reversed colors. So just gonna be castling, playing d3 with e4 next. Even though d4 is definitely an interesting alternative through this move order. I think they're supposed to play e6 because the lines with cd are slightly better for white, I think. And yeah, just gonna go d3 now. Go for the typical slow King's Indian play. Ooh, f5. Okay, not sure about that. Just gonna play d3, giving the chance to go e5, get into the normal stuff. And if they do go e5, maybe then it's time to break with actual e4. I think that's gonna be time to just go e4 and open up the position. King knight f6. Can we do e4? No longer working, I think. Also, this does not look very appealing. I think just knight e2 with e4 anyways might be the plan. Still like expecting him to go e5. And then do e4 myself. Like pawn takes, pawn takes. Yeah, I think we'll do that, and temporarily sack a pawn because we have knight g5, regaining it. I think that's doable, and we have ed5 ideas with rook e1, potentially opening up the position with the enemy king still in the center. So okay, on f4 I think you can just play knight c4 and we get a much better endgame after queen takes, because have pressure on the e5 pawn, but could be wrong on that. Also, pawn on f4 is kind of hanging after this happens, so knight c4, I think that's definitely the move there, and probably has to do something like queen d1, bishop g4, and then maybe I'll have to play c3, I'm like not sure. I think that's the move, controlling d4 square, because could potentially have knight d4 ideas. Yeah, I think that could be the play there. Honestly, I don't see an appealing alternative for him rather than queen d1 and bishop g4. But okay, let's see what he will come up with. So, big flat, taking pawn on e5. Gonna be taking it with this knight actually, because the knight is already active. So, queen c7. Does this allows us to play there? Yeah, I think it does. It's like pretty nice tactic. I think we can take, and then the point is we get bishop takes on f4. Like only move to defend would be knight there, but can take, knight takes, and then queen h5. Picking up this guy, and he can't block because of the pin. So I think this actually just wins the house now, because I don't see a good way for him to defend this piece on e5, and will regain the piece and keep 2 extra pawns, which is amazing in this position. Okay. Can he play bishop g4? That's like maybe the only thing that I haven't really considered. But like bishop g4, I think we're safe after bishop e5 there and just win the piece back. So bishop d6, clearly blunder. Take with check, take on e5, and we're actually not gonna be like equal pieces with 2 extra pawns. We have extra piece and also 2 pawns, which is like even better. So opponent presses the resign button immediately, and I'm just like curious whether the engine agrees with me on this knight takes on e5 move. I think that was actually the right call for sure. Yeah, you can see it's like first line. On queen c7 it was a huge mistake, and yeah, just knight e5 plus 3 advantage after bishop takes. So the main line that I was calculating was knight e7 we take and queen h5, and I figured out that we're attacking this and there's no way to like block with a knight because the queen is pinned. So then the only other thing that they had to try was this move, and I thought we can just do this, and at the end of this line we should have equal pieces with like much better position, e5 coming, and this just looks like a disaster. Thanks a lot for making it this far into the video, and in case you're looking for more episodes from the same series, make sure to click one of the videos that will appear on the screen. So with that being said, I'd like to thank you for watching, and I'll see you around on the channel. Take care.